Well, as you know, all the hard work's finally begun on the Bentley T convertible, and I'm cracking on and I'm working my way through it. This is all the junk that I've ended up cutting off in the last episode, and in this episode we're just going to get the car as finished on the back end as it possibly can. As you know, it's the NEC in literally 3 or 4 days time, and I'm not really doing well at the moment because this has taken me a long time. I'm waiting for parts to come from abroad. I've got a whole entire rear panel, which was, I mean, it's just been too damaged on the one I've got. It's just a bit too far gone, so that's coming from Virginia. It was in the country within 10 hours, and 5 days later, here I am, still waiting for the part. There is a plus, which is, this is the main rear stiffener, which goes on the new rear wing. The new rear wing welds all the way along here, and this piece welds to the boot floor itself, and as you can see, it was absolutely mangled on this one. And this is actually a brand new panel, and I found it in Canada, or a friend of mine, Mark, found it in Canada, and he kindly shipped it over to him in New York and shipped it to me, and I had it within 2 days, which was incredible. And it wasn't a lot of money, it was quite cheap, so that was a real result. I'm looking forward to fitting that with the new wing. I mean, there's a lot of junk here, but I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to bin it until I've got everything off it. I might need it for something else anyway. This back panel is like the missing piece of the jigsaw, really, and that's coming from Virginia. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll come within a couple of days before the show and I can get that back on. But like I explained in the last episode, whatever will be, will be. It's a restoration show after all, so you know, it won't be complete, but I'll do as much as I possibly can so there's something to look at. And as you can see, I've got my work cut out. I'm up against it with a few days to go, so as always, I'm going to crack on and get stuck in. So, along with the boot floor, this rear wheel arch has taken most of the damage, and it leaves a lot to be desired. It looks a little bit like Frankie's Monster. But there's no available parts in the country or abroad, so for the time being, I'm just going to have to do a little bit of tarting up and do the best I can and rebuild it. Then over to the other side, which also needs a little bit of TLC. Okay, just got a little shipment in from IntroCar. So this will probably be the repair panel for the driver's side on the Bentley, as you know. And also I had a problem with the Silver Spirit the last couple of weeks. Would have been out driving around. The red light had come on the dash. just for a few minutes, and then it'd go off again, then it'd come back on again. So that basically tells me that my alternator's on its way out. So I ordered a new alternator from IntroCar as well. And yeah, I mean, there's like a little resistor or a little kind of pack on the back of your alternator normally, and if you just replace that, normally that's the problem. But unfortunately, this is all in one, so I've had to get a new alternator. Oh yes, my old friends at Powerlight. I'm thrilled to bits that IntroCar have started using these, because I think they're actually a step up from the Lucas one, the old Lucas, or indeed the old Bosch ones. You remember I did the 190 SL a couple of weeks ago for Dan, because that just, you know, that was an old generator or dynamo, and that wasn't up to the job. Oh, look at that. That's a thing of beauty, that, isn't it? And it looks like exactly the same almost as the one that's on the Rolls-Royce at the moment, but I think that's actually a step up, as I say, and much better with one of these. Just a nice piece of equipment, and yeah, I look forward to fitting that. Yeah. And here we go. There you go. That'll do the job. So now let's see if all my hard work's paid off and this boot floor finally fits. And once it does, and I'm happy with it, I've got my new tool from Machine Mart. Just look at this. Punching holes like going through butter. Saves all them hours of relentless drilling. Now here I'm just elongating the holes in the new boot floor, as I'm intending to slide this one over using the original cross member for strength and the original bolt holes. Now as I mark up the repair panel for the lower wing, I'm careful to leave enough space to put the swage in to make welding easier. Oof. And now, aided with my second feature and my new favourite tool, I put in the swage. And it's time to weld. Little dose of the 950. You see, once the boot floor is in, I won't be able to get to this panel behind. Next, I pop in to see my mate, steel fabricator Gary Hallett, who with a sophisticated machinery and working off my rough drawings
manages to build me a wheel arch in just 5 minutes. Amazing stuff. I'm sure you'll agree, a dying art. Armed with a nice handy plasma cutter to see, I could have done with one of these when I was cutting the boot floor out. Maybe when I get to the NEC show, I'll go and see the boys at Artec and treat myself to one. Thanks, Scar. Well, that should save me a bit of work. Well, you would have thought so. But as I arrived back to the garage, I realised that the gauge of steel that Gary's given me is a lot thicker than the one it's welding to. My fault, of course. So, it's back to the drawing board and I have to knock one up myself. So, the moment of truth. Let's get this slippery little sucker in. Yes, the bolts line up, which is good. Now, if you look at the back of the rear panel where it's meant to meet the boot floor, you can see how badly bowed it actually is. So to fix the boot floor in place onto the front cross member, I'm using a mixture of spot welds and pop rivets. I weld up the strengthener. And around the wheel housing, it's spot welds all the way. And as I've resigned myself to the fact that the rear panel isn't going to arrive in time, I've decided to cut the rear panel in half, but retain the exact position of where the boot catch is, and therefore use it as a guide for when the replacement panel finally arrives. And now to that crusty old fuel tank. The tank itself is actually spotlessly clean inside. It's just a shame it's so badly dinted underneath. But until I source a new one, it'll do the job.
So we finally made it, guys, by the skin of our teeth, as usual. And you know what, you'd think a week is enough time to get a boot floor in, a rear wing, a back panel, and various other jobs, but I think I was kind of let down on parts. I've still got the back panel ready to come over from Virginia, which has been in the country for 11 days now and still hasn't arrived at my front door. So these are the kind of things that hold your jobs up. So I just thought, look, it's a restoration show after all, so why moan about it? Just get the car here in whatever fit state you can get it in, some kind of semblance of order, and it's a great 3 days, and I'm really looking forward to it, because for me, this is the special one, not the swanky one in November. This is the spit and sawdust one, the classic car restoration show at the NEC. And Footman James has done a fantastic turnout, as you can see. They got the barn find section, which is always a real treat. And I think we're up for a good turnout as well this next 3 days. So if you fancy coming down, talk about your classic car, come and meet me, say hello, have a little natter, grab us a coffee. Yeah, it'd be great to see you all, and I'm looking forward to plenty of Guinness after the show.
Thank you for watching this episode of Classic Obsession. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you all next time.